Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video lecture on crafting a focused resume. Now, not surprisingly, this video lecture will discuss how you can make an effective resume, how you can produce a resume that will help you get your foot in the door so that you can then use your verbal communication skills to ace that interview. Now, to produce an effective resume, you want to do 5 main things. First, you want to produce a resume that will work in a variety of contexts that will satisfy the needs of varied readers. Second, you want to use language from the job ad, as we discussed in our video lecture on the basics of career documents. Third, you want to produce a resume that quickly grabs your readers' attention. Fourth, you want to produce a resume that's organized for easy scanning so that your audiences can quickly and easily find key information. And then lastly, you want to produce a resume that focuses on results, that identifies the results or outcomes of your professional and work experience. So let's consider these tips in order, beginning with the first, which is this. Resumes must meet the needs of their many and varied readers. Now, in business context, we're always thinking about primary, secondary, and tertiary audiences, but rarely do we need to think more intensively about the variety of audiences that will encounter our work than we need to do when we're producing a resume. Resume readers include everything from computer algorithms to recruiters, to interviewers, and onward to hiring managers. In other words, your audience for your resume includes both human and non-human readers, and it includes human readers who occupy a variety of roles and who are at varying levels of authority within a company or institution. Now, if you're applying to a big company, which is the kind of company that most of you will be applying to for your internships or first jobs, your first reader will almost certainly not be a person. Instead, it will likely be a computer. Now, this computer, it's not interested in the felicity of your prose. It's not evaluating how creatively or uncreatively you've made a case for why you deserve this job. Instead, it's just making sure that your application is relevant for this position. And the way that computer algorithms evaluate the relevance of your resume for a position is by looking for keywords from the job ad. This is how you get the algorithm's approval, as it were, for your resume. Now, keywords, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the concept, are distinctive nouns or noun phrases that appear prominently in a job ad and that are linked to a job's core requirements, right? These should be nouns or noun phrases that really stand out, that seem to convey essential information about the job and its requirements. And you want to make sure that your resume prominently includes these keywords so the computer algorithm will understand that your resume is relevant to this job and its requirements. Now, once you've impressed the computer with your effective use of keywords, your subsequent readers will be very busy people. Now, of course, all readers in a business context tend to be busy, but your next round of readers, which are typically going to be recruiters, are some of the busiest people in the business field. On average, recruiters devote only 6 seconds to a candidate's resume. And so to grab and hold their attention, you want to organize your document for easy scanning. You want to make it very easy for these time-strapped recruiters to quickly and easily find key information. Now, you can organize your document for easy scanning in a variety of ways. You can follow block formatting. You can use those document design tips that we've talked about elsewhere. But more specifically, you want to follow these 5 tips. You want to use optional formatting sparingly and consistently. Yes, you should use optional formatting like bold text or italicized text or bolded lists, but you don't want to overuse them to the point that your document looks unwieldy and chaotic. You want to keep your bullets concise, ideally to roughly 1 line. You want to keep them parallel, and you want to keep them front-loaded. If you have key information that you need to convey in a bullet, make sure that key information appears toward the beginning of the bullet. You want to aim for 2 to 4 bullet points per section. Anything more than 4 bullet points is probably going to go unread by your audience. After that 4th bullet point, audiences tend to just check out. You want to maximize white space. You do not want your resume to look cluttered. If your resume looks cluttered, it's uninviting, and a lot of readers are just going to check out. Or if they don't check out, they'll likely have a difficult time finding key information. And lastly, you want to follow standard resume design conventions. We all love a creative and original resume, but particularly when you're at the beginning of your career, you want to follow more standard conventions just so that recruiters or hiring managers can quickly and easily find that key information. Now, if you're not familiar with the standard conventions of resume formatting, please pause this video lecture and take a close look at this slide. I'm not going to describe each feature here. The features are more or less self-explanatory, but please feel free to use this as a model for your own resumes, and at very least, take a moment and reflect on the conventions that you see here. Now, the last thing that you want to do as you're crafting your resume is you want to focus on winning over your most discerning readers with content that emphasizes 2 main things. You want to include content that emphasizes business impact, and you also want to include content that emphasizes company fit. Now, you can show business impact in your resume first by stressing accomplishments rather than responsibilities. In other words, focus on the outcome of your work rather than simply describing the things that you had to do in a job or volunteer role. You can also show business impact by focusing on and specifically quantifying the results of your work. Now, this concept is quite similar to the previous one, but the key point here is that when and where possible, you want to apply numbers to your descriptions of the outcome and results of your work. So you want to take relatively generic phrases like recruited new club members or answered phones and translate them into more specific bullets with quantified information. Stuff like recruited 15 new club members with Instagram campaign. Notice how specific that is and notice the quantifiable information. Or developed call log recording all customer inquiries, right? In those revised versions, we're focusing on results and we're including numbers whenever possible. You can show company fit, on the other hand, by linking your experience to the company's needs. And the key point here is that your resume, even at the beginning of your career, shouldn't just be a laundry list of all of the things that you've done. Instead, it should be a targeted, tailored list of your accomplishments that connect directly to the needs of both the company and the position that you're applying to. And that's a great way to free up some of that white space on your resume, to get rid of some of that clutter by eliminating qualifications or achievements that no matter how impressive may not align with the needs of either the company or the job that you're applying to. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this video lecture. If you haven't watched the video lecture on cover letters, please do so soon. And until next time, thanks for watching, everybody.